My dear brothers and sisters, welcome back to this presentation of the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. In the first Samadhipada, Patanjali gave the whole summary of the entire dimension of the Raja Yoga or the Yoga dimension. He started with a definition of what is Yoga, Yogaha Chittavritti Nirodhana, and what is the goal of Yoga, to reach the Swarupa, the Purusha. And the whole Prakriti and the Purusha, when you look at that, Prakriti is made out of Chitta, according to the Patanjali. So just like in modern science we have understood that everything about the physical world is but nothing but energy, the whole creation is made out of the Chitta, he says. And the 5 dimensions of Chitta has been talked about. Krishna and Akrishna we saw. Then Pramana, Viparya, Vikalpa, Nidra, Smriti. Manifest and the unmanifest. Manifest is the one that occurs, the right knowledge, the wrong knowledge, and the blabbering. But in the unmanifest, the Nidra. Nidra is also considered as a vritti in Patanjali. Abhava pratyaya alambana vritti hi Nidra. Then the whole storehouse of memory, consisting of all the karmas, that is prarabdha karma, sanchita karma and others. So all these have to be purified to reach the highest state of Kaivalya. And 8 types of samadhi he talks about. And having done that, then he talks about how to reach there, by the dhyana and various types of dhyana, then bhakti yoga, surrender, behavior therapy, and he says ultimately choose whatever dhyana you like. Yathabhimata dhyanadva. Then reach what is called the samapatti. There is samadhi, and there are varieties. And you go deeper and deeper, settle to the causal state of samapatti. And in the last sutras, it talks about the highest siddhis the persons can get. And you have to relinquish all these siddhis also to reach the highest, that is the Kaivalya. That's called the Nirbid Samadhi, Dharmamika Samadhi. Having given the whole picture, summary, in the second chapter, called the Sadhana Pada, he starts giving the methods for that. The first he calls it the Kriya Yoga. What is that Kriya Yoga? Tapas Swadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani Kriya Yoga. He says. So, the 3 aspects of that. Tapas, that refers to the normal yoga of gaining control of the mind. Swadhyaya, that is the Gnana Yoga aspect. And Ishvara Pranidhana, we call it as the Bhakti Yoga dimension. 3 put together, he called it as Kriya Yoga. This is different from Kriyas, Shat Kriyas. That Kriya Yoga defined by Patanjali in the second Pada, Sadhana Pada, has the goal to reach that Samadhi. Samadhi Bhavanartha, Klesha Tanukaranarthascha, he says. Why we have to do these things? Why we have to do? To reach the Samadhi. And to thin out the Kleshas, is what he says. Having said that in the second sutra, then he says, what are the Kleshas? So, Asmita, Avidya, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha. 5. Avidya is the first. It is lack of awareness of reality, wrong knowledge in a sense. The limited knowledge. And a lack of awareness, that's the Avidya. Then Asmita, that's the egoism. Then Raga and Dvesha, attraction and repulsion. And finally, Abhinivesha, that is completely getting into the friction of the bodily thing. So, how we get attached to the lower and lower adjuncts has been put forth here. So, I was remembering an incident that there was a small narrow bridge across a river and only one vehicle can go. So, when one vehicle comes, there will be a stoppage sign on the other side. So in one incident, a car started moving from this thing, and as it started moving, another person who was coming very fast from other side, he did not bother and he came all the way. And they stopped there. The first person, the driver, comes out and say, you see, you have seen me entering in. There is a stop sign. Should you not stop until I go away? So please go back and I will go away and then you come. This is the right thing to do. Then this fellow says, yes, I understand. I'm sorry, my dear. I have done the wrong thing. But look at, now I come almost 3/4 way. You have to go only 1/4 the way back. So I will go away. Let us save some time. This fellow says, no, nothing doing. Law is law. So you have to go back. So this fellow says, please, please, please go back. Both of them come out of the car and say, you go back, you go back, you go back, you go back. When they say that, what do they mean? When they say you go back, your car has to go back. So you have not only identified with your body, you have identified with your car. This is called abhinivesha. Therefore, you have to overcome that abhinivesha. In the klesha, all these kleshas, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, all these things should be thinned out. The speciality of Patanjali is that it is there and it will vanish. No. It is a gradual process, and that's the process of thinning out. The word that he uses, klesha tanukarana, is a beautiful word, which always I loved. So in Yoga Vasishta, Vasishta Mahamuni says, Anudinam tanutvam yati, arishad vargani, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. All these are going to get thinned out in the process, he says. So this is the process. And once you go on thinning out, reducing the thing, then there is going to be a jump. That is samadhi. Samadhi is a jump. So just like in the physical world, for example, if you take the water coming out of the tap, so you go on opening it, slowly the water starts coming up in a beautiful linear way. That's called the laminar flow. When you go on opening it, when more and more water comes, you start getting, transition, start getting last stage thing, and it becomes all turbulent. So this is the phenomena always. So there is from the laminar flow to what we call the turbulent flow, there is a transition and there is a sudden change. This is expressed and brought out by the non-linearity system in that. So similarly here, when you go on improving continuously, go on doing and doing, and at one point there is going to be an expansion of awareness. And that sudden expansion is called the samadhi. So having talked about the kleshas have to be thinned out and you get into the samadhi. That is the thing that he talks about. So the dimension of asmita, then raga, attractions, repulsions, everything has to be on thinning out, abhinivesha has to be removed, all these things to be here. Then having talked that, he says, so what is to be done therefore? So abhinivesha has become completely grossified and you have to go back. Te pratiprasavaheyaha sukmaha, in the 10th sutra he says. So there is the process of grossification, this is called as the creation, and you have to go back early, pratiprasava. That is, you have to go back, the process of evolution and growth. So from the gross, you go to the subtle, from there you go to the causal dimension. That's happened. So how to do that? It says meditation. Dhyayaheyaha tadvrittayaha. You'll be able to overcome and thin out all these vrittis. Meditation, that tool. And that's how we have to work on that. And we have seen how by chittavritti nirodha you go and start meditating in this dimension. Meditation is the tool. Now he talks about the karmas. What is the root cause for all these kleshas? Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, vinivesha. The root cause is karmashaya. That is ashaya of karma. That is the whole storehouse of our memory. They are called as the prarabdha karma and sanchita karma. Prarabdha and sanchita karma. Agami karma are the ones that are going to come up. And they are all stored inside, in our memory store. So they are the cause for the kleshas. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, vinivesha, all this root cause is that. And it goes on getting carried over lives and lives. We take birth and we die. When we die, all these things are there in our manomaya kosha and it will remain there until we take birth. When we take birth, corresponding to that, there is going to be coming up. That's the dimension that comes. So, therefore, if we do not purify all these karmas, then we are going to get to these things manifest in our next life. So, as long as the root is there, as long as the cause is there, it must ripen and it will result in the lives. Different class, length and experiences are going to come up. Jatyayur bhogaha, he says. So what is the result of that? Then sorrow and excitement, happiness, joy and dukkha. We are all tossed upon the dukkha and sukha. Sukha and dukkha goes on. Depending on the good things that you have done, you have got the sukha. Depending on the bad things that you have done, you have the dukkha. Punya punya hetatvat. He says. So, when you do good actions, you will get the good things, brings joy and action. If you do bad things, then it will bring more of dukkha. So, in a sense, this is the whole system that goes on and on, and we are all tossed up and down in dukkha and the sukha. So, what is to be done is to overcome all this sukha and the dukkha and reach that state of kaivalya, that infinite bliss, infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite freedom, all that, we are in the state of Purusha. In a sense, Prakriti Purusha Sayoga has to be dislodged. So, that happens when we have the purification. The purification should be such that even the agami karma, which causes dukkha, that also should be vanquished, not only the stored ones. So, next Patanjali goes more scientifically. Why this aspect has come? Drashtu drishyayoho sayogha heya hetu. So, the root cause of this union has to be removed. The seer and the seen, they come together, and that is the cause because of which we have got these problems. So, you have to overcome that thing. So, then we describe, okay, what is the seen and what is the seen? Knower and the known, seer and the seen. Seen is the Prakriti, seer is the Purusha. So, the seen consists of all these physical things, elements, and then the things, sense organ, and the mind, the buddhi, the chitta, ahankara, and all these things are there, and they are featured by sattva, rajas and tamas. So these are the ones that are there in the seen, that is in the prakriti. So the seen has these 5 elements, 5 sense organs, and the 5 organs of action. That is also sattva, rajas and tamas. So that is there. Now, what about the gunas? The gunas can be more, gunas can be less. In some rajas is more, in some tamas is more, in some sattva is more. So these all are the ones that make our personality. So therefore he talks about the stages of the gunas. Stages of the guna is guna parvani, he says. That is the particular thing and the universal thing and the differentiated and undifferentiated thing, all that he describes about the various stages of guna. What about knower? Is only a seer, is pure consciousness. Drashta drishimatraha shuddhopi pratyayanupashyaha. Yes, the seer is pure consciousness. That's the one that comes up. So I have the seer and the seen. Seer is the Purusha, seen is the Prakriti. So this is the process he talks about. Then, what is the purpose of this Sanyoga? But then it takes up this interesting question. The purpose of coming together of the Purusha and Prakriti, is to gain the Purusha of the awareness of his true nature, of infinite bliss, infinite power, infinite knowledge, infinite freedom. So, because of the coming of the Prakriti, he is able to manifest that. So, that's how he tells. Swaswarupa upalabdhi hetuhu sanyoga, he says. The purpose of Samyoga, Purusha and Prakriti, he talks about. Unfoldment of the powers inherently present in Purusha, which is manifesting in the Prakriti. Full potential. So, having said that thing, Patanjali takes to further dimensions of the root cause for this thing. Tasya hetuho avidya, he says. So all that is because of the avidya that comes, coming there. So now, what is to be done? The avidya has to be removed. Once you remove the avidya, then the sanyoga also gets removed. Sanyoga abhavaha hanam tadrushehe kaivalyam. That reaches you to the kaivalya. So how to remove the avidya? So by continuous awareness. He calls it as viveka khyati, a discriminative cognition, we can say. And that is the cause for removing all these sanyoga dimension. And how to do that? 7 levels. Saptada pranta bhumihi prajna. 7 levels of the prajna he talks about. And these are the 7 grades of knowledge, in a sense. For example, we have known what is to be known. The mind becomes more and more satisfied. Then absence of all pain comes. Attainment of full knowledge. 4th one, attainment of the end of all duty towards viveka. 5th is freedom of the chitta. 6th is chitta melts away into its causes. Establishment in self. 7 pranta buddhi. So, what is the purpose of this thing? Yoga unga anushthanat. The root cause is ashuddhi kshaye. To remove all the dirt, all the samskaras, everything, and to have the enlightenment. That's the dimension he comes. So then he talks about the Ashtanga Yoga. That's the greatest contribution. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, all that thing he starts about it. Antaranga Yoga and Bahiranga Yoga. Then he talks about the dimension of the Yama and the Niyama. There can be Mahavrata. It can be continuously practiced for a long time as a Mahavrata. So, Mahavrata means you have no choice. You have to know Ahimsa means Ahimsa, Ahimsa. Satya means Satya, Satya. Like Satya Harichandra. You may encounter a large number of problems, but still you have to sit to that. He says, Jati, Desha, Kala, Samaya, Anavachinnaha, Sarvabhauma, Mahavratam. He says. The 5 vows, Mahavratas are called. They are not conditioned by the class, place, time or occasion. And it extends to all stages consciousness. Once you do that, then they will bring various types of siddhis. What are the things that he talks about? So he says once you start doing that, there may be many obstacles that may come. They are called vitarka. They are vitarkaha. They are full of himsa. And they are featured by lobha, krodha, moha, and all these things. And they can be very severe or very mild. It can be. Then he talks about from 35th Sutra, what are the result of this practice? Ahimsa pratishtayam tatsanidam vairatyaga. In the vicinity, all the vaira will go away. In Patanjali Sarsham, in Angulimala, Buddha's Angali, Shankaracharya, Shungeri, everything. Then he talks about each one of them. If you do Satya as a Mahavrata, what is the result? It is Kriya Phaladshayatva. That's in Sutra 36. In the 37 he says, Aste Pratishtayam Sarva Ratnopasthanam. Then non-stealing, integrity, honesty, you will be getting the Sarva Ratnopasthanam. You will get all the best of the wealth, Ratna. Then Brahmacharya Pratishthanam Virya Labha. You get the Virya. Virya gets turned into Vojas. So like that he gives one by one all the different things from Shaucha, Santosha, what happens when you have the practice of the Santosha, Anuttama Sukhalabha, infinite happiness you are going to get. And by doing tapas you get complete purification of the body and the senses and others. And by the practice of Swadhyaya you get Ishtadevata Sampradaya. And by doing the Ishwara Pranidhana you get Samadhi Siddhi. Having said that, then he talks about the asana, pranaya, pratyahara. Then dharana, dhyana, samadhi, he takes up in the next chapter. So we are all very familiar with the asanas. And he says, Tirasukam asanam, that we should be steady and comfortable. Then he says, Prayata Shaithalya Ananta Samapatti Bhyam. This is the second. And the third is Tato Dvanva Anabhigataha. In 3 sutras, he gives a whole dimension of all different asanas. What are the principles of asana? He never talked about different asanas. Then he talks about pranayama. Tasmin sati shwasa prachwasayoho gativicheda pranayamaha. It is the cutting down of the speed of breathing that it takes place. And this is the dimension that he talks about, the pranayama. And he talks about the dimensions Bahya and Abhyantara Stambha Vritti, the Kumbhaka aspect. They are all governed by the Desha, Kala and Sankhya. And they can be subtle and these things. 2 schools of pranayama have been done. Then that is the 4th one that doesn't depend on the exhalation and the inhalation. Bahya Abhyantara Vishaya Akshepi Chaturtha, he talks about. Then once you do that, the result of that, tatakshiyate prakashavaranam, then by the pranayama, you get the uncovering of the light starts coming up. That is the dimension he talks about. And then in the 53rd sutra, he talks about the capacity to get into the higher level. That's the antaranga. Dharanaso yogyata manasaha. The mind gets the capacity to do the dharana. So then about the pratyahara. Use the external senses to gain mastery over the mind. In breathing, you use the breathing to gain mastery over the mind. In asanas, you use the body and its position to gain mastery over the mind. In pratyahara, you have to use the senses to gain mastery over the mind. That is in the 54th, So, in pratyahara, when you go on doing, then you get complete control and mastery over the indriyas. Tata paramavashyate indriyanam, he says. So that is the last sutra, 55th sutra in the 2nd sadhana pada. Therefore, we have a wonderful exposition of the Bahiranga Yoga, and before that the whole theory related to that, starting with Kriya Yoga, then the Kleshas and how to overcome them, what is the root cause, how we have to go, all that has been brought forth beautifully in this sadhana pada, starting with the first 5 limbs that he talks about. And that will lead you to the 3rd pada, that is the Vibhuti pada, which we are going to take up next Sunday. With that, I am very, very thankful to all of you, and I wish you all the best. Namaskar, Dhanyavad.
Hari Om. Namaste to one and all. Once again, welcoming you one and all to our practice session. After learning the basic ideas about Sadhana Pada by our Guruji Dr. H.R. Nagendraji, we'll proceed for the practice. Today we are going to do one of the advanced technique for our Manomaya Kosa. The technique is mind sound resonance technique, shortly we known is as MSRT, which is an advanced technique that can take you into a deeply rested state of mind, body complex through experiencing the internal sound resonance all over the body. According to the research, this advanced technique is very helpful for generalized anxiety disorder. It gives internal deep relaxation. In this technique, mainly we want to learn that is two varieties of chanting is here. One is ahata chanting, which is nothing but the loud chanting. Loud means those who are sitting outside, they can listen to you. And another one is the anahata chanting, that is nothing but the mental chanting. And here also we are having 8 steps of this MSRT. Now all of you please be ready for practice. You can use any comfortable relaxation meditation posture, maybe Sukhasana, Padmasana, Vajrasana, or if you are having some problem, then you can do this practice in Savasana, means lying down on back. So we'll start. All of you kindly settle down. Be ready for the practice. Make sure throughout the practice your eyes should be closed, and with total awareness we'll do the practice. We'll start with starting prayer, which is nothing but the Maha Mrityunjay mantra. Join your palms. Namaskar Mudra. Namaskar Mudra. We'll offer our salutation to three-eyed Lord Shiva. O Shiva, please give us the power, the energy. We'll be completely free from the fear of death. Like a ripe cucumber falls out of its creeper automatically and effortlessly, without any effort. Please give us that wisdom, that knowledge. With that, we'll start the chanting. You can repeat after me. Om Trayambake Yajamahe. Om Trayambake Yajamahe. Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. Urvarukamiva Vandhanat. Urvarukamiva Vandhanat. Mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Om Shantir Shantir Shanti. Release your mudra. Observe the beautiful resonance of this mantra. Totally purified you, energized you. Enjoy. Coming to the second step, that is ahata, anahata of akar, ukar, makar, and aumma. Now, very gently bring a total awareness to the lower part. We'll chant akara one round, loud chant or ahata. Take a deep inhalation and chant. Observe the beautiful resonance. Shift your awareness to the middle part. Let us chant Ukara. Loud chant. Inhale and chant. Observe the vibration, the resonance. Shift your awareness to the head region. Let's chant Makara with closed mouth. Loud chant. Inhale and chant. Observe the resonance. Now for the complete body, from the toes to the head, head to the toes. Let's chant O Umakar together in a single breath, 1:1:2. Loud chant. Inhale. Enjoy the beautiful resonance. Completely resonated you. Feel the energy. Enjoy. Coming to the second round. Let's chant Akara, loud chant. Feel the resonance. Ukara, loud chant. Feel the resonance. Makara with closed mouth. Observe the beautiful resonance. Now for complete body, A Omakar in a single breath. Enjoy the beautiful resonance. Last round. Now shift your awareness again to the lower part. Let's chant Akara, Ahata, loud chant. Observe the resonance. Ukara, loud chant. Observe the resonance. Let's chant Makara with closed mouth. A Omakara for complete body, loud chant. Observe the beautiful resonance. Completely energized your body and the mind. Coming to Ahata and Anahata phase of A Omakara. Let's chant Akara, loud chant. Repeat this Akara mentally, Anahata chanting with same frequency and try to get more resonance. Inhale and chant. Observe the beautiful resonance after this Anahata chanting. Let's chant Okara, loud chant. Repeat this Okara mentally, Anahata chanting. Inhale and chant. Observe the resonance. Let us chant Makara, loud chanting. Repeat this Makara mentally, Anahata way. Observe the resonance. It's more than the ahata or the loud chanting. Get the more resonance and enjoy. Let's chant A Omakara all together in a single breath. Repeat this Omakara mentally. Inhale and chant. Observe the beautiful resonance. Coming to the second round, Ahata and Anahata. Let's chant Akara loud chant. Mental chant of Akara. Loud chant of Ukara. Mental chanting of Ukara. Feel the resonance. Let's chant loud chant of Makara. Mental chanting of Makara to get the resonance. Enjoy the resonance. Let's chant A Omakara loud chant. Repeat this Omakara mentally with same frequency. Enjoy the resonance. Coming to the next step, Ahata, chant Ahata and Anahata of Mahamrutyunjay mantra. All together we'll chant Mahamrutyunjay mantra 3 rounds, loud chant. Visualize the picture of Lord Shiva in between your eyebrow center, completely surrendering attitude. We'll chant Mahamrutyunjay mantra. Om Trayambake Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandhanat Mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambake Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandhanat Mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambake Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandhanat Mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Observe the beautiful resonance completely. Enjoy the divinity, the divine vibration. Enjoy the deeper relaxation. Coming to Ahata and Anahata phase of Mahamrutyunjay mantra. Let's chant Mahamrutyunjay mantra loudly one more round. Om Trayambake Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Enjoy the bliss. Repeat this Mahamrutyunjay mantra with complete devotion in your mind. Anahata chanting. Inhale and chant mentally. Observe the beautiful resonance, more resonance than the Ahata chanting. Now, one more round, Ahata and Anahata Mahamrutyunjay mantra. Om Trayambake Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Vandhanat Mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Repeat this in your mind with complete devotion. Enjoy the resonance. Coming to the next step, let us chant A Omakara all together in a single breath. Anahata way, mental chanting. 9 rounds. Now, after completion of the rounds, coming to the ajap ajap of Om, feel the vibration as if you were chanting that Omkar. Ajap ajap. Get the vibration, that the resonance. Like Om, 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 Om. That is mentally. Feel the peace. Gently, it completely dissolves into silence. Our real state, our home, real happiness. Enjoy this bliss. In the silent state, take your resolve, your sankalpa. Repeat with complete shraddha in your mother tongue. I am bliss. मैं आनंद हूँ. In your mind, with total shraddha, repeat. Let's chant closing prayer. Sarve bhavantu. Namaskar mudra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayah. Sarve bhadrani pasyantu. Ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shantir Shantir Shanti. Rub your palm. Make cup shape of your palm. Place it around the closed eyes. Now release your palm. Few blinks with a beautiful smile. Open your eyes. And maintain the silence throughout of your day and night, each and every activity. Thank you.